Hello everyone, today I'll be sharing with you the 7 lessons I learned in 2021. So everything I say in this video is my personal opinion. It has nothing to do with anyone. So based on the Merriam-Webster, this is a famous online dictionary platform, vaccine was the word of the year in 2021. Well, it's not surprising as 2021 was the year where a lot of the governments encouraged the citizens to take the vaccine. So first of all, I'm very grateful for the COVID-19 vaccine because I have people around me getting COVID. And because of the vaccine, their condition is very mild. But the chronic process is no joke. So I cannot imagine what will happen to me if I'm not vaccinated. Just like buying insurance, right? Better to buy early to protect yourself because we don't know when things will happen to us. Don't worry, I'm not here to sell you insurance. That was my previous job. But the analogy is very similar to taking the vaccine. So the second lesson I learned is that a job will not last forever. We have seen so many retrenchment in 2021. People lost their job because of the pandemic. But at the same time, we also see a new way of work arrangements. People working remotely. Some even took on 2 jobs. You know how they do it? Because no need to show face, just be present can already. That's why they can smoke through. Now, smoke is a Singaporean slang, means to bluff or confuse someone. See, that's the power of remote working. There are so many opportunities out there. That's why I think having a growth mindset is very important. Always develop other skill set, keep learning, and learning doesn't stop after I graduate from school. It only just begun. I highly encourage you all to read this book, The Grit by Angela Duckworth. It explains how the top performers remain successful in the work that they do. Now, the third lessons I learned is courage to make the jump, especially for people like me who wants to do a mid-career switch. So previously, I was a financial planner, but I suck at it. So at the point of time, I was looking around and I saw this course on ethical hacking on Udemy. Well, the course is very cheap, less than $15 Singapore dollars. I look at the curriculum and it has a lot of lessons, quite comprehensive. And the review is good. So I purchased the course, went through the curriculum, then realized it's pretty interesting. And I thought to myself, I can do this. So I went and do a part-time degree in digital system security. It was not easy at all. But thankfully, I graduated last year and successfully made a switch to the cybersecurity field. However, I understand that it's very difficult to make a switch when your current pay is good and your colleagues are nice to you. But I always tell myself, I can always earn more money doing the work that I love. So here I am at a better place, even though I'm earning lesser than my previous job. But I feel happier and I'm doing the things that I want to do. Next lesson I learned is compete with yourself. Now in the past, when we receive our exam result, if we do not do well, the parents will ask whether we have done our best. So one of my close friends said that is an useless question. Why? Because if you say yes, it means that's your limit. That's the best you can do. Does that help you? It only keeps your thinking. If you say no, what does that say of you? You have been goofing around? But is that really true? And is there anything you can do about it now? So the next time someone asks you that same question, you can say that under the same circumstances, that is the best I could do. Now, what is a better question to ask? Have I improved compared to 6 months ago? Let's talk about grades. So if I did improve compared to 6 months ago, even by a little, that's good. I will continue to seek for improvement. If I didn't, what are some of the things that I didn't do well? And I should look for solutions to do it better. Now, if I were to go back 10 years ago, I would tell myself to focus on the things that I'm good at or interested in and double it down. Because sometimes we want to be the best in everything that we do. But as I grew older, I find that is extremely difficult to do. And I realized I don't have to be good at everything to be successful. But that doesn't mean that I don't face my weaknesses. Once I'm good at the things I do, I will naturally want to work on my weaknesses. So the next lesson I learned is, when in doubt, ask. Now we are scared to ask because we think that people might feel we are stupid. Yes, sometimes people might think your question is stupid, but who cares? People will forget one day later. I still remember when I was in school, I really do not know some of the topics that was taught in class. So I clarify. In the end, my teacher got so annoyed that I asked so many questions. He even wrote that in my report card that I need to learn to ask more constructive questions in class. Okay. So as I grew older, I care less and less about what people think of me because we are too busy with our own lives. Sometimes the question I ask can also help someone because they don't dare to ask. And once you have the answer, you're in a better position to contribute. And people will appreciate you for doing that. I got to say, sometimes you just got to be thick skin. However, there are certain occasions that I can't ask a question directly, then I will do it privately. Most importantly, I clarify my doubts rather than hiding it and just assume what I think is correct. It's better to know that I'm wrong right from the start than to make assumptions on what I think is right. Or if information was given prior to me, I will read it first and clarify the doubts that I have. You can say something like, you understand this part of the information, but I'm not very sure what this particular question is asking. So that the person knows that I've done my homework and does not feel like I'm asking a question without thinking through. This is very applicable when you're in school, asking your friends or professor for help. If you need help in your career planning, ask for help. Go to a meetup group or even private message people on LinkedIn. Most of the time, people are nice and will answer you politely. So the sixth lesson that I learned is never hold on to a job that pays you well, but you're not excited about. As you grow older, with more family commitments, most of us will tend to just stick to a job that pays well, but even though we are not excited about that job. In my previous job, my boss is nice, my colleagues are wonderful, I receive a lot of gifts during Chinese New Year, so that's good, right? But I'm not excited on the things I'm doing over there. It's very routine-based. So after thinking hard and long about it, I decided to quit. I asked myself whether I see myself doing this long-term. If I'm offered a job that pays better than what I'm doing now, and something I want to do, why I make the jump? Sometimes we just need to train ourselves to think long-term rather than satisfied with the short-term reward. So if you want to see a breakthrough in your career, I highly encourage you to read the book, The Magic of Thinking Big. It challenges your thinking on how to invest yourself for future profit. So lastly, everyone has a story to tell. Don't be too quick to judge. If you see someone become successful overnight, you might think that this person is talented. I will never become that person. However, we need to remind ourselves that nobody becomes successful overnight. It takes years of hard work to achieve their current success. And sometimes you've got to be honest with yourself. How many hours did we put in to hone our craft to become better? Sometimes I also ask myself, am I just blindly working hard, doing the same thing over and over again? Or am I doing deliberate practice to improve my skills, increase my value in my career, and achieve my financial goals? I also know that in order to have a breakthrough in my income and achieve success, I need to upskill, reskill, and blend skill. So last time I learned graphic design and video editing. Now I learned about cybersecurity. So I made a YouTube video on cybersecurity for you all to watch, making tutorial videos, motivational videos, and videos on explaining concept. And if you can sing a bit, then do that. One guy online even ran himself out to do nothing, and a girl sell her farts, and people pay them for it. See, people think out of the box. But I'm not saying that everyone should do that. But what we can learn from this is that if you think hard enough, we will find a way. If there are no role models around you, look for role models in books or online. Emulate the way they think. You don't have to follow exactly what they did, but you can learn from their mindset. Take them as a reference point for you to improve further. So that's all I have to share. The 7 lessons I learned in 2021. I know 2021 has not been easy year for some people, but you know what? We survive. So give your pat on the shoulder and take one step forward. Stay grateful, keep smiling, and seek to be 1% better every single day. If this video has been helpful to you, I appreciate you can give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will see you in the next video.